What's up, guys? It's Cody here. Today we're going to be doing a Starlight Headliner install on the 04 VW Jetta Wagon MK4. We're going to show you everything you need to do this, not only on this vehicle specifically, but any other vehicle. The process is just going to vary a little bit as far as headliner removal and the little bits and pieces you might have to take off and remove and locate a couple little things. So I'm going to try to do my best to show you guys how to do this in its entirety. This is my first time doing it, but thanks to Google and the rest of the internet, I think I got a plan for going about it. So next you'll see kind of some tools and stuff that we're going to be using during this. Some real basic things like hand tools, screwdrivers, pry bars and stuff, and I don't know, a couple extras most likely as well. But we're gonna get at it, and we'll see you guys in the next clip. So what are you guys gonna need for this project in its entirety for the most part? To start, we're gonna start with some basic hand tools. All stuff you can find on Amazon, it'll all be linked below. Some pry tools for your panels and stuff. Every car is going to be different. Got a metal pry tool here too. Then an assortment of Phillips head and regular screwdrivers. These two should do just fine. You can even use screwdrivers or flatheads to pry, but you might risk scuffing your plastic panels. I like to use the plastic ones. It just makes for less damage and stuff like that. A little knife of some sort that'll help cut the fabric. So we're going to be reupholstering this headliner as well, so that's going to come in real handy there, or some fabric scissors would even work. I'll show you the headliner in just a minute, but if your headliner is in good condition and you're not reupholstering it, you can entirely skip this step. But you'll see in a minute here that this headliner is in pretty bad shape. It's actually stapled up in a few spots from the previous owner, and it's seen better days for sure. If I grab the fabric, I can pull it off with just 2 fingers. So we're gonna get that redone. For the fabric, we went to Joanne's Fabrics. She hooked us up. I believe this is utility fabric. I got this because it has the foam on here. Has a nice little foam barrier, so I'm gonna have to scrape all the foam off of the existing headliner. And then we're gonna put this down. They didn't sell just normal foam, so I'm gonna use this. And then to attach that, we're using some Permatex automotive headliner adhesive spray. That's going to be pretty sweet. Hear good stuff about it. And then on top of utility fabric, we are going to put this Fox suede, I believe. This is kind of the look I was going for, and they didn't have this in a utility fabric. So I'm going to give it a go and try to spray adhesive that onto the utility fabric that we got from Joanne's. So we had the Fox suede here that we're going to end up putting on top of the utility fabric. I think it should go well. This material is really what I was looking to go for as far as a look and feel, and it has some stretch to it, so I think we'll be able to contour the shape of the headliner. There's not too many contours except up around the headliner visors, so I don't think it should be a big deal. But like I said, this is my first time, so we're going to see how it goes and just kind of play it by ear. Also, obviously, if you're doing fiber optics, you're going to need a fiber optic kit. This is from Amazon. The link will also be in the description down below. This seems like a good kit I watched another guy do a video with this exact kit, and it looked pretty sweet. So I think it's going to turn out really good. This is the 450 strand kit. I think it should be fine. For my wagon, majority of the strands are going to be in the back section here, but it's not too much bigger than your average sedan, you might say. Pretty much everything you need comes in the fiber optic kit. So your fiber optics, your controller, you got your plugs. We'll just modify or probably cut one of these to then hardwire it in. Got your controller, super small controller with a remote, and then this is going to get probably mounted in a pillar somewhere. I'm not sure yet. Maybe the C or D pillar. We're going to figure that out as we go. And every car is going to be different. So, I mean, it looks of good quality right now. And the reviews seem pretty good as far as what other people were experiencing with it. So I'm happy to give it a shot. I believe it was like 140 bucks. I didn't think that was all too bad for how sweet this stuff turns out. I think it's worth it. But then we got some fuse taps, also on Amazon. This is so we can hardwire it into the fuse box. We're going to run an auxiliary power wire and get it up there to hardwire it in somehow. We'll figure that out as we go, but can't really buy them in singles, so you have to get a bag of 10. It's cheaper that way, and then I guess you'll just have some around for the future. And I guess one other thing, kind of optional, a drill. Probably get a wire attachment and wire wheel all the old foam off of the headliner. You can even use an angle grinder. I might use one of those, break one out to make it go faster, depending how it's going. But for now, I think this is the basis of everything you might need for it. So really not much. Fiber optic kit, a couple of basic hand tools, fabric if you're redoing your headliner, and some spray adhesive if you're also redoing your headliner. So right now we're gonna jump ahead, get at it, and start taking out this headliner. So I'll see you there. Alright guys, I just wanted to show you real quick what the headliner looks like now. It's like I said, it's in bad condition. It's not anything very pretty. So we'll check it out right now. The Big Daddy sub in there, but here's this unsightly headliner. Got stains on it. Got staples holding it up. And we're going black, of course, so it'll be a nice contrast with the leather interior. Love these Volkswagen leather interiors. They do look good, but yeah, you can see if you like, I can pull that pretty much all the way off right there. And it's super stained up there. Just not very nice. So we should have a nice new black Starlight Headliner once we're done here. Cool, so let's get at it. We're gonna start taking the headliner out. Alright guys, we're gonna start here with the visor. We're just gonna pop that out. Oh. This front clip has to be popped off around where it seats in there. I'm gonna use a metal one. From what I've heard, this clip can be a real pain, as it seems to be proving to be already. There we go. So the metal flathead, seems like that's what you'll need. I don't know. The plastic ones didn't seem to be helping a whole ton, so we'll set that aside. And got a little cover over here for the sun visor. Ooh, careful, that falls out, so don't lose that. And each side has a Phillips head. Yeah, Phillips. Get those out. So I'm only going to show you guys one side of each, because they're both the same process. Make the video a little shorter. So the same process will be applied on the passenger side. When you are removing your headliner. So there's going to be a wire running up in to the sun visor here. We're going to have to disconnect. Don't lose any of your bolts either, guys. It's a real pain. So this guy just kind of tilts down forward and then out. There's a little foam there that's deteriorated. And then we're just gonna, oh, yeah, I think that was it. Just pull and you're good to go. Visor off. While we're in here, we'll do this this light too. I believe you just come in from one of the sides, and there should be a clip that it just pops down with. Alright, there we go. I believe so. Cool. Kind of a pain, but there's a little metal surround there that the light snaps into. So we'll pull that out and we are good to go there. So that's the visor and visor light removal. Next we'll do this center console light here and this sunglasses holder. Alright guys, we're now gonna take out this stupid little thing. Just one Phillips head and then the light housing with the sunroof switch. Don't even know what this little visor is for. It's too small to even do anything. But then it comes out. Trusty pry bar. There we go. Cool. If you see that, it's two little push pins and one screw. One screw to hold it in. Just screwing it back into the housing so I don't lose the screw. Trying to keep track of everything. Got to stay organized during stuff like this. It's pretty important. We're going to do the light assembly next. Just get up under there, pop it down. Comes out like so. And then there is 2 Phillips heads, one here, that we're gonna take out now. And then this whole switch panel should come down. We should be able to disconnect the switches from there. Alright, that's one. That's 2. It should pop down. Oh, okay. So there's these two little tabs on each side. You gotta pry those out a little bit, and then you're able to pop this old girl down. Should be. Alright, we're gonna pop this down. Okay. I didn't know that came out like that, but there's an Allen key in there. I'm sure that's for adjustment of the sunroof. Yeah, okay, there we go. So take this panel out first, then the screws, and you can just kind of pop down on that. Then you just got a clip here for your door lamps. So that has 2 things on each side. And the one for your sunroof just slides out pretty easy. Then we'll probably take a flathead, come in here, kind of pry it up and out. Clips like these can be a real pain, especially when they're jammed in like they are. It's in kind of a peculiar spot, you might say. There we go. Managed to not break it, so I popped the one edge up a little bit and then was able to pull it out, and we're good to go. Just gonna put this back on here. Got the 2 tabs at the end, those going first, and then just get pushed down, just so I don't lose that, keep everything together. Now this is done, we're gonna move over to this sunglasses holder, and then the rear handle and light, and that's pretty much it for all that you have to take down besides the pillars. Alright, so we're back at the rear driver's side oh shit handle. Already got these things popped open. Take this out with the Phillips head. Hold on to that, girl. It should come right down. Just put these bolts back in and close the things up so we don't lose them. Gotta stay organized, guys. It's super important. So then, I'm gonna grab some of our pry bars, plastic pry tools, and I'm gonna get this light out. Should be the same or very similar to the one under the front visor, where you just push down. There we go. Looks like Okay, so we go from the front. Same thing, there's this metal bracket, so don't hit that because that's what I was doing. Then just got a plug with two things on each side. Just press those and pull out. Set that down below, and that's really all. Just repeat every single thing we did on the driver's side to the passenger, which I'm going to do now. And then I'll bring you guys back for removal of the pillars and pretty much the rest that's needed to get the old headliner out here. So I'll talk to you guys soon. Alright guys, so we got the passenger side all done with the visor and the handles up top. So everything's disconnected there. Now all we have is the pillars to remove before we can remove the actual headliner itself. We're going to start by popping this airbag thing out, I think. And other cars that I've done in the past, there's normally a screw behind there, but maybe not on this one. We'll give it a shot. Normally these are just held in by clips. Flathead screwdriver. That's what did it. It's a monster of all clips back there. And it just slides up, so that was a real pain. And you guys can see that was this clip right here that was being a pain. So those are all there, and these ones are easy plastic ones. So hardest one's that one up top. Good, got an A pillar off. Let's go to the B pillar. What's up guys, we're now at the B pillar. We just got to take off the seatbelt thingy here, and it just pops up from the bottom. There's a 17mm on there, and then the B pillar should pop off, I believe. I'm gonna find out in a second here. So this is just a 17mm. You can use a normal socket, 3/8 or 1/2 inch to take that off. I'm gonna use the 1/2 inch Earthquake XT to get it off quick. Easy enough. You can see how this comes off. Not quite sure just yet. Yeah, there we go. Alright, so that one actually pops off, and there's a Phillips head in there. I think that's like a special fastener in there, I believe. So that, working it from the top seems to be the way. Careful, this screw just popped out. This is like a stays in there type of deal. And then, yeah, just pops out like so. Okay, that was pretty easy once you work from the top. So alright, that's the B-pillar, guys. All you need is 17mm, a Phillips head, something to pop this little airbag thing out. We're just gonna put this back in right now so we don't lose it. Staying organized is key. Alright, now we'll go to the C-pillar. I'll show you guys the same thing. Should be roughly the same process. I don't see why it would differ, but we're just going to set this screw back in there so we also don't lose it. So we're back here at the C-pillar, guys. We're going to do the same thing. I don't see why the process would differ any from the B-pillar. Pop this airbag thing out. Yep. Same. Alright, just gotta find it and get after it. Money. Don't want that to fall all the way down, but we got it. Light's falling. But there we go. Alright, so we got that screw out. Then we just need a couple of ugga-duggas, and it's gonna be out. Quick ugga-dugger or two. Easy peasy. Put that in there. And we'll try just like the B. Okay. Gotta try and pry from all different areas. 'Cause yeah, you can see where the clips are. Okay. Got one more down here. There we go. So if this helps you guys at all, there's a clip, 3 clips on the side there. They're all plastic. And then that's really it, except then the Phillips up there. Then you got one down here at the bottom. So you just gotta get all those out, and that is your C-pillar removed. So we're now at the back D-pillar technically, guys, and there's a screw up here holding the D-pillar on before we can just pop it off. You just gotta pull down this upper strip. Super easy. There is about five connectors in there, and then a Phillips right here, and this D-pillar comes off. Very easy. So we'll get our Phillips. Phillips head. Go to town on this guy. Then this guy should pop right out. You guys can see that. I'll probably end up taking those out and putting them back in. You really just gotta kind of pop up, but take those out, put them back in, so I can just snap it all back in. The D-pillar is probably one of the easiest, I would say, after you get that top piece off, and then your Phillips head, you're pretty easy going there. Yeah. So that's it for all the pillars. I'll show you guys how to do this one light here. It's similar to all the rest, but then I'll finish up the other pillars, and we should be able to just about get this headliner out of the car here. It's pretty exciting. It's actually moving along pretty quickly. See you guys in a sec. So we're at the back light now, guys. It's gonna come out like all the rest. I'm assuming. Like getting in one side and there we go. So it's going to be coming from the passenger side, pushing that silver guy there and pushing the 2 pins in and disconnecting. That's it for the light. So now I'm going to finish up these other pillars, come back to you, and we should be taking out the headliner. See you guys in a couple quick minutes. Alright guys, so we got everything removed from inside the vehicle. I'm going to take you through a quick walk around before we end up pulling the headliner out. There's just a few spots that we'll have to make sure they're out of the weather stripping around the doors and stuff, and this thing should slide right out the back. At least that's the hope. So I'll take you guys around real quick right now, show you kind of what we got going on here. 1 second. So, got all the pillars removed, as you guys can see. All the way back. A, B, C, and D pillars on both sides. That's what it looks like in the back. We'll just have to make sure to push a lot of these electrical connectors up through for the lights and things as we go down, like that one right there. And we'll stuff all those up in, especially the ones at the front. And get the headliner out of these spots right here in the weather stripping. Right along here. We'll pop that down, push all these up in. Here's that nice pretty headliner. And then we should be able to just bring it on out. That's the plan, at least. So all these will get pushed up in and should be about ready to come down. So I'll see you guys back here in a minute. So the headliner is about ready to come out. If you can see that behind me there. We got it down from all the edges. And now I'm going to bring you guys up in close to show you what you got to do before popping the whole thing out. There's just a couple of wires that are glued up on top of the headliner that I will show you right now. We're going to have to pull these off beforehand so we can detach it from the actual headliner itself. One moment here. So we got these right here. That's where all the the feeds come in to go to your lights. See them all the way, so I think they're just glued in a couple little spots here. You just gotta pull those off, pretty easy. And then we'll have to either re-glue them or re-secure them back on when we are finished. So I'm just gonna go around, pop all these off, make sure we're not breaking anything, and then I will get you guys back on when we're pulling this guy out the back here, which should be relatively soon. Stay tuned, guys. Be seeing you shortly. Alright guys, the headliner's down and we're ready to pull it out. That's what we're going to do right now. Should come out pretty easily. Thankfully I have a wagon, so this would be much harder in a sedan. Wow. Okay, there we go. Didn't even have to open the garage door. Let's go. Great. We're good now. Bring you guys in. I might do some sound editing. Show you guys what's up in here. May do a little bit of sound editing. There's wood all up in here. It's with everything removed. Bunch of fancy shenanigans tucked away, airbags and stuff. It's good that there's airbags all along there. Safety, man. Safety. But yeah, I got some extra sound editing laying around. I might just do up that whole thing. Probably pull the sunroof visor out shortly here. Trying to figure that out. I think it slides out the back, but not 100% sure. But yeah, I think we're gonna sound deaden because of this guy right here. Scar 1000-watt 10 puts out some bass. If you guys are looking into audio stuff, Scar Audio, shout out, man. This thing slams, powered by a Scar Audio 1500-watt amp. Pushes some air for sure, and I think some sound deadening might help. But that's the headliner out. We're gonna get it up on some stands right now and just go to town trying to remove this old fabric. Look at that, it just freaking peels off. It's horrible. Just like, oh, that's gonna come off so easy. So all right, we'll get it up on some stands and be right back. All right guys, we got some stands set up, just some auto body panel stands. Put the headliner down. Seems like it'll probably be the best method to hold it. Alright, so I went ahead and ended up pulling all the staples from the previous owner because this middle part was all just sagging here. Look at that. It's already almost up. I worked up this one edge and now should just be able to remove this pretty easily. Jeez, here's all that foam stuff people were talking about. It's gonna be fun removing that. There's that, all the old crappy fabric off, and now to grind all the the old foam off. Probably do a time lapse, fast forwarded video of that. See you guys when it's done. Alright everyone, we are back. Got the headliner all stripped of foam. That went decent, pretty smooth. Made a trip to O'Reilly's before they closed. Picked up 2 more cans of the Permatex automotive headliner adhesive. I've used that stuff before, it works pretty well. But the biggest issue was getting the visor out. So, show you kind of what was going on here. This was just super difficult. This was a real pain. Broke one of these slider clips. I didn't even get a chance to film it because I was figuring it out along the way. I'll kind of show you guys real quick kind of what was going on. So here's your whole sunroof assembly. That's a little better. So sunroof assembly here, and this is where your slider goes in. Be right above this bracket. So this your whole sunroof assembly. There are these drain caps on the back of here. One second. These drain caps go on the back of here. And there's 3 sort of like that, and they're adhesive on there pretty well. And they are held on by 3 it'd be T20s, I believe. Yeah, T20. And they come down from the top, so they're a real pain. They go down like that. 3 of them on each side. You're gonna have 1, 2 will be over here in these holes, there and there. Then you have 1. The pan head screw goes right there on that hole. Same for each side. So, but to get to that, you needed to remove a series of T30s, 2 T30s on each side. So you're gonna have a T30 here in the track and a T30 here in the track. And that will allow you to move this sunroof track ever so slightly. So then you have to pull it down, go from the top. This is kind of the setup I use. T30 with a 1/2 inch drive on a ratchet. Worked out pretty well. If that doesn't work, you'll have to use a 1/4 inch with a T20 to get up in there somehow. It's real difficult, honestly, without taking this whole assembly down. And you will actually have to pop out. There's 3 T25s holding this guy up here before you can even get to those T30s. And your airbag clips into that. That's where your grab handles go into. You can see the 3 holes right there. So there's 3 T25s that hold into that. Hold that. There's one of those on each side, and you gotta pop this. You gotta pop the airbag, the side airbag out. There's little clips on each side. One right there. One right there. You pop it, and then you gotta pry down a little bit, and it'll come out of that clip there. Then you can get to the bolt spine there, remove that bracket, remove that. That will allow you to get to these track T30 screws. So that was honestly one of the hardest parts of the whole job right there. But we finally got it out, and it should, funny enough, be the easiest thing to upholster, but it's the hardest part to get out. So, broke one slider, so those cannot pop up. So don't try to pop them up. You got to get those guards off and slide the whole thing back out of there. And yeah, then we'll peel this and get it ready, get all the foam off, and get back at it. So with the sunroof shade finally removed and out of the car, we can start taking the fabric off and getting it ready, get the foam off, so we can get the new upholstery on there. This will be the easiest piece, but funny enough, it was the hardest to get out. We'll see if that statement stays true for this. Alright, there we go. The sunroof shade is done. We are pretty much ready to start upholstering, and we're gonna get to it. That's probably about the worst of it. Then, I mean, the rest is just waiting and assembly. So it's getting exciting now. I'll see you guys when we start upholstering and laying that foam down. Alright everyone, got the headliner laid out again. On the side we will be upholstering. About to lay the foam down. I got the foam or utility fabric laid out on top. I got it flopped this way. I'm going to do a little more than 1/3 of the headliner. I'm going to do the easier part, or what I think is going to be the easier part. The more flat, flowy section. I think that should be easier than a lot of these tight corners. So we're going to give it a go. I'm going to do a coat. It says to do 2 to 3 uniform overlapping coats, and for a better bond, do adhesive to both surfaces. Let 5 minutes go in between coats. So we're going to do at least 2 coats on both surfaces. 5 minutes in between each coat. And I'll probably pause it when those coats, we're waiting on those. And then I'll come back after 10 to 15 minutes. We'll drape this back over and lay it down. So here we go. Been shaking this up for a while now. Not really worried about getting adhesive on the edges. Not a big deal. We'll be cutting that off. Then I got this line pretty much right to the edge there, so I have enough to do my visor. Yeah, this should go down well. You can see this headliner even just looks good without the fox suede or whatever it is. So I'll go from the middle out. I think that'll be best. Just make sure to make all those smooth. Alright, that seems good. Alright, so that's it. I just need to trim around the edges. You guys get the picture on that. I can take you for a walk around real quick. Kind of took a while. Yeah, that took forever, honestly. I mean, it looks pretty good. This side's probably the worst as far as right here. These couple little areas, very, very minor wrinkles. Still looks better than the old headliner, that's for sure. Just gotta trim all these edges flush. That's probably one of the worst areas too, even though it's really not that bad. I think I'll be able to finesse some of those, make them look a little better with the other stuff going on top. Just all these compound angles and stuff, very difficult. But back here in the open area, turned out very good. No visible wrinkles really. He's set in pretty good. So I'm just going to trim it up and then probably do up the cover, do the same process. Probably won't show you guys that because it's the exact same process as what we just did and even easier. Just spray both sides, flop it on, and smooth it out. So save a little bit of time here. It's already going way long. But yeah, it's looking good. Definitely tough for first time upholstery. It's a learning curve, that's for sure. So keep that in mind if you want to upholster your headliner, especially a wagon. It's just a lot to do. Alright guys, I'll see you in the next clip. Hey, what's up guys? Day 2 of the reupholstery portion of the headliner. We're doing the final Fox suede, I believe it's called, on top of the foam we laid down. I already got it laid out here. We're just going to time lapse through it to make things a lot quicker. I think it should go pretty decent. I'm going to take it a little slower than I did the foam portion. Just try and make it as nice as possible and make sure I'm being careful with my spray adhesive and not going too heavy to the point that it may soak through this fabric. If anything, I'll do two layers of spray adhesive on the foam and one on the Fox suede. So yeah, let's hit it. Time lapse start now. So there you guys have it. That was sped up version of doing the second layer of Fox suede, it's called. Probably took me a little over an hour. You guys probably saw it in a matter of minutes, but it turned out really good. This stuff I found or realized it had a lot more working time than the foam. Once the foam stuck, it was like once it was down, you weren't pulling it back up without ripping it. This stuff, you were able to readjust and kind of get the wrinkles out and stuff, which was nice. There's really no significant wrinkles. The only tough spots, which I knew were going to be, was up here. A little bit of tension on some of these areas, but nothing too major. I can live with it, especially first time doing a headliner like this. I just got to go around, trim all the excess fabric. Probably saw me cutting a little bit. I got to trim, and then we'll flip this over and tuck all these edges, so we're going to reduce the chance of peeling and pull back. So I also have to do the slider sunroof shade. I'm going to do that off camera, same process. That's the easiest piece there. And then we should be just about done once these are cut and adhesive and tucked around the back. That's pretty straightforward. So, alright guys, I'll see you when we are done with that. Hey, what's up everyone? So many hours later, we got the headliner all finished up, got the shade cover finished up, and had to go finish some other stuff, but we're back at it. Just buttoning up the shade up in the, putting everything together back in there. It's quite the process, but got it back in. That's what that's looking like, and it's definitely looking good. Put a little bit of sound deadening in there. Whether it will help or not, who knows. Gotta reseal these gutter ends for the sunroof. Should be fun. And yeah, just kind of buttoning that back up. Some kill mat there. Decent stuff for the money. So you can see the headliner here. Got everything tucked. It's looking real good. But yeah, just want to give you guys an update. Then as far as wiring the module, I believe I'm going to be grounding it right here, somewhere in there, maybe on that same ground. It's for a trailer hitch that was there. But the module is going to be in here one way or another, and I may try to pull power from this 12 volt right here. I can see back in there, there's a power, and I know that's fused up at the fuse box, so this module does not draw very much power. I'll show you guys the module real quick. It's pretty small. We just took the 12 volt and 12 volt adapter that came with it, cut it off, and we're just gonna figure it up, wire it in somehow. Shouldn't be too bad. Instead of running it up and using those fuse taps, running all the way to the front of the car up there. So I think that'll just be easier, and then our fiber optics will go up through through here behind this pillar and then up into the headliner, which should work out quite well. So I'll give you guys an update in a little bit. We're gonna get that shade finished up and get this module wired in. All right, everyone, it is the next day. We poked 450 holes. That took me probably an hour and a half of diligent poking using the old T upholstery pin. That worked out pretty good. Would recommend that. We now got our fiber laid out, and we are gonna run it. We started one strip back here. I think it'll go pretty decent. We're just gonna do kind of from back to front all the way and work it in as we go. We're gonna do all of them and then hot glue them. Just picked up a hot glue gun from Wally World, the old Sure Bonder. So I think this will work good. It's like a micro hot glue gun. Like I said, we're gonna run all the fibers and then come in and hot glue them. I just want to make sure we have enough length before we go securing them in place, and then we'll pretty it all up. But hopefully we have a Starlight Headliner by this evening. That's really the plan here. So I'm just gonna cut the camera and get to work here. I'll bring you guys back when this is all done, maybe before I glue, kind of do some adjustments, and then we'll go from there. Then after that, it's maybe trimming the fibers and putting the headliner in, hooking everything up. So it's getting there, guys. Getting exciting. So I will see you once all of this is completed right now. All right, everyone, it's many hours later, probably 5 to 7 or so hours later, much longer than I anticipated this taking. We had ran 450 strands of fiber optic. There was actually like 18 extra strands in the kit. I don't know if that normally happens or not, but so I poked an extra 18 holes and put those in, but it was quite the process. Expect a long time doing this before you go into this project. Set aside like 2 to 3 days to do this whole job. We put all the strands in, tested them, they're working fine, kind of neatened them all up, and then hot glued all of them. Went through 15 hot glue sticks, so have a bunch of those on hand as well. Ended up bunching up all the loose cords underneath the fiber optics, trimming those with shears, and right now we're about to the point where we're going to put it back in the car, but the fiber optic portion is done. We just need to put the headliner back in and hook it up to the module, get all the A, B, C, and D pillars back in, and really this job is finished up. But as far as the fiber optic portion, this is done and ready to go. Should all fit in nicely. One thing I will say with the hot glue was that it was kind of melting some of the strands, and I saw other people doing different types of adhesive to avoid that, but I needed something permanent. I need to have the car back by tomorrow, so I wasn't trying to wait overnight, and it worked out pretty well. The fibers still work and transmit the light, which is fine by me. It wasn't like breaking them or ruining them at all. But yeah, long time, should be good. We'll bring you guys back when the headliner's in the car. There's not much to that, and Then we're going to clip all these final strands off with a pair of nail clippers or something that we can get them flush with. And then we'll bring you back to show you the final product, and hopefully it's looking really awesome. So there's a little update for everyone, and I will see you guys when the headliner is back in right now. What is up, everyone? We are back. It's been a few days since we finished the Starlight Headliner install on the MK4 Jetta, which we are hopping into now. You guys can take a peek. I wanted to let a few days pass to not only make sure everything was good, but just test it out and kind of see how we were doing here. So we did end up wiring in the control box to where I was talking to in the back there. I will actually show that to you guys in a second. But the power is constant on, so I just have to turn it off and on with the remote here whenever I need. Can also do it from the app on my phone. I kind of like the remote. It's a little more reliable. The app doesn't like to connect via Bluetooth sometimes, so this is just a little easier. So we're going to turn it on now. There it is. So right now we have it on twinkle fade, so you can shut the motor off to stop the twinkle. I'm going to bring you guys back later in the evening when it's dark out so you can better see this. But it is looks super good. Got some lights up there you can barely see, but turned out super nice. Obviously you're going to get a better full effect in the evening. Like I said, I will bring you out when it's dark. But right now I'm going to show you the module and how we wired that up. So right in this little cubby, which is perfect. So got a big old zip tie to another harness in there. Didn't quite have enough length to bolt it down here, but we got the ground right here that worked out. And then I added some line by soldering and heat shrinking to the existing and routed it up. Had to pop this outlet out and spliced it in and soldered to the power, which is constant power at this 12 volt. 12 volt still works fine. Everything works as normal. And the nice thing about that is I didn't have to run all the way up to the fuse box up there, and this is already fused on its own. So if this got overloaded, which it shouldn't, it's only 10 watts, but it would be safe and reducing the risk of fire hazard, stuff like that. So it turned out really, really clean. The upholstery looks awesome. Can't even notice any of the tiny little flaws or small little wrinkles, one being up in the front and the rest are fine. Ended up leaving the rear oh shit handles out. I think it just looks a lot cleaner, and people really don't need to even use that back there, to be frank. And deleted the little stupid visor in front of the light in the front, which I think looks way better. But yeah, just wanted to bring you guys in a few days and show you the final product. I'll bring you back later this evening and show you how awesome it really looks at night. So I will talk to you guys in a little bit. Alright everybody, we're out here. It is nighttime. Give you guys a final good look at the headliner. Be able to see it a little bit better. Get a remote here, turn her on. Still even hard to see, but yeah, I mean, looks pretty sweet. So it all turned out really good. Really have no complaints. It's a real jaw dropper, honestly. A lot of people are just amazed at how it's even done, and so many questions on how I did it, and just what went into it. But you guys can kind of get a better look there. So right now it's on purple. We can go to really any color that's white. Got blue, green. Can do a ton of colors. And then there's the phone app as well that I mentioned. So back to purple, and then we can do a bunch of different fade types. So this is on, yeah, that's one of the fade types. Then we can speed it up with the remote, make it go faster between colors. We can turn the twinkle speed up or down. You guys can see it there. It's twinkling more, which is pretty cool. But overall, I mean, I'm satisfied with this kit from Amazon. It's really solid. Definitely recommend it. This was the 450 strand kit, and I definitely don't think I would want any more or any less. I think 450 in a sedan might be a lot to do, but if you want a lot, then go ahead and do it. I think maybe 300 for a sedan might do it, or 350. Just remember, whatever you pick, you gotta plot and poke and thread all 450 through, and it takes a ton of time, probably 6 hours in just putting the fiber optics through the holes, which was a ton. Then we can, if we want, we can shut the twinkle off there. Yeah, right there. So you can stop the twinkle with the remote, and it's still on the fade. Then we'll turn it back on. I like the twinkle. And then there's a music feature that you can have it go to music. The music feature is a little weird. It's like ultra sensitive. It seems like in anything above like normal listening volume, it's just like going constant, which is not ideal. So I'm not really using the music feature a bunch. So I just keep that off. But super easy. These can be on all the time, which is nice. They draw almost no power. I wired them up to a constant 12 volt, like I said before. Can turn them on and off whenever I want, which is cool. And I could leave them on for a while, I'm sure, and have no battery drain. Be just fine. That's another one. It jumps through the colors. Different style one. And then you got your fades. Then you can do flash. Then you can speed up the flash, do like a strobe. And it's still on the color changing there, which is pretty cool. I like the fades. It's nice and gentle, but also do this breathe. Kind of goes in and out. That's pretty sweet. I'm still getting the hang of it. You can do a lot with the remote here, but you can also do stuff with the app that you can't do with the remote. So just getting a hang for it and messing around with it. But overall, I'm definitely satisfied. For sure took a lot of work, a lot of time and effort, but for sure worth it. I always remember seeing people at car shows, talking to them, and they would tell me how much work was involved, and I never quite understood till doing it myself. Would I do it again? For sure, for the right vehicle. This was kind of a trial run, and I just wanted to see how it would go. Definitely took a long time, but well worth it. I think I may just have to take the Wagon to some shows just for the fact of the roof here. But overall, would highly recommend, and I hope this video helped you guys at least learn something or get you wanting to do this for your own vehicle, because you will for sure be turning some heads, and people will be amazed. So this is it, guys. It was a pleasure taking you along this journey, a few-day journey and project. I look forward to seeing you guys in the next whatever project we decide to go with. I'll talk to you guys later.